JSU, Coach TC Taylor and the JSU Tigers start their spring ball this week. I'm going to tell you about some of the biggest storylines that I'm looking forward to during the spring practice. And, some things that still have some question marks to me. We're going to talk about that and more after the bumper. Stay tuned. What's good people? What is going on, good people? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on Jeff Lightsy Jr., YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Be sure to do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We're up over 10,000 subscribers, so shout out to y'all. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Now, today, I'm here to talk about the JSU Tigers and the spring ball. As we know, spring ball for JSU gets started this week. Obviously, it's a lot of so many storylines going into Jackson State in their spring practices, the 15 practices, manifesting, cultivating, getting finished on April 15th at the spring game, which I will be at. I will be in attendance for the spring game. I cannot wait to see you all in Jackson at the spring game. Now, of course, there will be things that I'll look for when I get there to the game, see who's doing what or whatever. But of course, the number one storyline going into spring is the quarterback position. Zy McDonald, Phillip Short, Jason Brown, all battling it out for QB1 spot. The spot left vacated with the transfer of Shedeur Sanders, a guy who had massive success, never lost a SWAC game during his tenure as he never lost a game in the SWAC during his tenure as the starting quarterback of JSU. So there's big shoes to fill. There's big shoes to fill, whether it's Jason, Zy, or Phillip. I've been able to speak with Jason and Phillip on this very here program, on this platform, and they sound confident. They sound excited. They love the direction that the staff is taking this team. They love the direction of the offense. And this was early, right when they got to JSU, right when they committed. So obviously they're a lot more further along now than they were back then, but they were excited. Another big thing, because Coach TC Taylor told us that he will have a starter name by the end of spring. That is awesome. So that means this competition is going to be fierce. That means one mistake can bump you from QB1 to QB3 because all of these guys are equally talented. He said as of right now, the guy with kind of probably the edge going into practice. Now, they haven't practiced yet, but going into practice was Jason Brown. I thought that was significant to hear Coach say that. So to know that the QB battle is the most highly anticipated thing going on with JSU this spring because he thinks he'll have a starter name by the fall, and starter name by the end of spring, and that could possibly see guys transfer. We don't know, but we all have to wait and see what's going to happen with that. So that's number one. That's easy. I had to knock that out because we had to talk about that. The other thing that to me, just as important as, the QB is your number one thing. You got that. You got to have the QB or you're not going to have a successful team. You got to have a QB that can spin it, as we've been told in the past. But another thing that to me is right up there, if the QB is right here, this concept is right there next to it as far as the importance if Jackson State was to continue to have the success that they've had over the last couple of years, and that is the defense. JSU didn't go undefeated in the SWAC because they just had this immaculate offense that just scored 50 points a game. Now, they had a really good offense. But the reason why Jackson State was so dominant in the SWAC over the last couple of years is because nobody could score on them. They had a relentless pass rush, the best pass rush in all of FCS football over the last 2 years. The best pass rush, the best points per game, the best defense, period. That defense took on a makeover. You lost several starters off of that defense that transferred out to different places. Jeremiah Brown, Cameron Silman-Craig, obviously Travis, Shiloh, bunch of guys gone. Now they have been replaced. In your defensive coordinator, gone. Your defensive staff, gone. You got new guys over there on the defensive side of the ball. And so the players must replace them, and two, the scheme has to fit and be able, that scheme, the new scheme, being brought in by the new defensive coordinator, who's a really, really good one, by the way. All Corn knows it came from over there. But can that scheme will his scheme and his players, his talent with this scheme, be able to continue to put up the dominant defensive performances? Because I think the offense, if I could be wrong, I think the offense is going to take some time to get where it needs to be. It's not for a lack of talent. We know how talented the offense is, but it's not every day where you get a new quarterback, a new system, new coaches on that side of the ball, new players on that side of the ball, and just hit the ground running. And so a lot of times defensive concepts, especially with talented players like JSU has, a lot easier to grasp, and they pick it up faster, and they're able to attack, fly around on the ball, and make plays earlier than sometimes than the offensive players. And so that's why I think the defense, and if they're able to have that same type of success specifically with rushing the passer, you're gonna have a really good football team. You're going to have if you're able to rush the passer like you were the last couple of years, your team is going to be great, because eventually that offense is going to click. I just don't know if the offense is going to click week 1 or week 2, maybe by week 3, week 4. So I think it'll take a couple of games for the offense to get its footing. It was the same with Shedeur. Shedeur was super talented, but for a couple of weeks, the offense couldn't get out of its way. They had to switch out offensive coordinators during that first fall season, making TC the offensive coordinator. Then they switched to Bartolone the second fall season. So that's why I think the offense is going to take some time. I could be wrong. The offense could hit the ground running and average 40 a game, because TC is an offensive guy, because they have crazy good players, and they have a 1,000-yard back coming back, and they've got outside weapons galore, Seven McGee and Rico Powers, and it looks as if Shane Hooks is back. I don't know anything. I don't know no more than y'all, but I look at the videos on social media and I see Shane Hooks in workout gear and JSU clothing. I see he's taking away his top 10 or top 5 schools that he was looking to transfer to, and it looks as if he's going to be wearing JSU jersey this fall. I could be wrong. I mean, anything can change between now and August, but I seen him in the workout videos. And so having Shane Hooks back helps that offense a ton. It helps it a ton getting Shane Hooks back, but I still think it's going to take some time. Therefore, you're going to lean on your defense. And there's some ballers on that defense. Bringing in an All-American, like you say, is Guthrie. Bringing back Niles Gaddy. Bringing back K5 and Jalen Hughes. And then adding pieces, guys like Nyreek Sharp. Adding pieces like Tristan Sion. Adding pieces like guys like Stanley Cooks up in the front end. I think that is going to help the defense. And I think they could put in having a veteran defensive coordinator coming from Alcorn, whose schemes we saw work. Alcorn had a really good defense last year. The schemes work. You insert the talent, I think you can pick that up fast. Man, this is going to be an amazing spring. You get 15 practices leading up to the spring game, which they'll keep it really vanilla, right? Like they'll keep it really vanilla. I'm interested, but the thing I want to see too is of the freshmen that have enrolled early, the Bruce Mitchells, the Tristan Sions, who's going to stand out? You enroll early for a chance to play early. And so if you enroll early, I want to see if you're able to make your presence felt. Last year during the spring game, we saw like, whoa, okay, there's a couple of these freshmen, Travis and Kevin specifically, who enrolled early. They made their presence felt during the spring game. I mean, hell, Travis had 2 picks and 2 touchdowns. I ain't expecting nobody to go out and do that as a freshman. But he let you know, like, he's a guy. He's a guy. He'll be like, he's just not a name. He's a guy. Will anyone from that freshman class that enrolled early be able to stand out and be able to point like, Tristan, he's a guy. Whoa, Bruce. Bruce is a guy. I don't know how he's going to be able to help them this fall, but I can see he's going to be able to help this fall. Like, he's not going to red shirt. He's not going to just not play, not see the field. Like, no. He's going to make some plays starting this fall, his true freshman year. I want to see which one of those freshmen will be able to do that. I also want to see how the defense is going to be ran. It's going to be a 4-2-5. It's going to be 4-3. It's going to be 3-4. I'm interested to see little tidbits like that and who's running with the first team in the spring. Because the first team in the spring doesn't mean everything. And this is more of the spring game when I get down there in person with you guys, and I can't wait to see you all. But this is more of a spring game thing, but who's running with the 1s? Who's running with the 2s? Who looks good? Looks like they could potentially get bumped up come fall camp. Because the spring doesn't tell you everything, but it tells you something. Doesn't tell you everything, but it does tell you something. And I can't wait to see it. Which receivers are making the plays? Like I said, we know Shane Hooks is a baller. We know Rico is a baller. What can Seven McGee? What ways will they use Seven McGee? Now, obviously, they're not going to show us everything. They're going to keep most of a vanilla. But Seven McGee is a guy that a lot of people have high expectations for. How will Coach TC and the offense use Seven? Which quarterback will they use the mobile guys and get their legs involved in the offense? What we haven't seen in the last 2 years, really mobility, read options, run pass options, different things like that from the quarterback position. Will we see more of those? Because the dual threat quarterback is the number one thing in football nowadays. Or if you have a Jason Brown, will we see more deep routes, high, taking big shots down the field? A lot of dinking and dunking over the last couple of years because Shedeur was crazy accurate, but not a ton of go balls, not a ton of big post or post corners. Will we see some of those routes being intertwined into the offense, taking more shots down the field when you have big time playmakers like a Shane Hooks, like a Seven McGee, like Rico Powers? All of those things, all of these things are going to be super, super intriguing as the spring football season starts this week. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What are you expecting from JSU this spring? Now, they can't show you everything, but what are some of the storylines and some of the position battles that you're looking forward to? The starting linebacker position battle is a great one. Who's going to be the starting cornerbacks? Those are going to be great because you got returning guys, K5, Jalen Hughes, but you got young, hungry dogs, Nyreek Sharp, Bruce Mitchell, Tristan Sion. Who's going to be the starting wide receivers? It looks like Rico and Shane are back, but who's going to be added to that mix? How are they going to use all the running backs? Is Seven's a football player? He's going to be in the backfield at running back. He's going to be in a slot at receiver. Are you going to see him sometimes on the outside? Like all of these things, man, because everybody is so new, everybody is so fresh. How are they going to be utilized and put in the best position to see them succeed and ultimately have team success? Boy, this is gearing up to be a special spring and then leading into what could possibly be a special fall season. Leave your thoughts on your favorite thing going into Jackson State spring football. Once again, my name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. This is the Victor Formation Sports Show right here on Jeff Lightsy Jr. YouTube, Facebook, and wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button before you get out of here. Like, share, and subscribe. And also you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JLightsy7 on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at JLightsy7. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Peace.